Welcome everyone to the Rope to Rope podcast number 2. It's got a new name because the first name was taken by every podcast going. And we're back with Ryan. How are you doing?
I'm doing lovely. How are you doing?
Really good. And Just Dave is here with us.
I love Just Dave.
How are we doing?
We're doing good. I got my hands a little full over here. I got my secretary.
So it's kind of a little bit different today because we've got your partner from the Ascension coming on the call for the first time. There might be some others coming in because we tried to do this thing where it was like the Royal Rumble podcast, but we've left it a little bit too early. So we're going to try it again in a couple of weeks, but we might still have some people trying to
Very
join the
cool.
calls. So we could end up with 5 or 6 people. But what's the Space Lord Victor like to work with?
Oh, he's wonderful. Yeah, he's the brains behind it. he's the guy that helps us put everything together.
Does all the intricate stuff, just like the face paint.
Oh, he's amazing. Yeah, they call him. So Dustin Rhodes gave him the nickname, the Paint Master, because he's so good at painting. Yeah, yeah, he's so good at painting, and he's so intricate with everything that he does. And then it's like, I don't know if anybody saw last week, but Heath kind of gave a great demonstration of the way I put my paint on.
Yeah,
I'm just like in and out. I don't care. Yeah, yeah. That's how I put my paint on. I'm just like in and out. I'm just like whatever.
It was terrible.
But it works. But it works for me. So
of course.
Do you know the biggest thing that everyone loved from last week was kill the ginger? That's all the messages me and Just Dave were getting.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, it's true. Yeah.
Have you watched anything wrestling related this week? Any of the
this week?
NXT
No, I have not got eyes on any of the wrestling though this week, which I feel a little ashamed about, because there's been a lot of interesting things going on out there right now. I saw Drake Maverick ended up. I think he got his contract, which kudos to him. I'm very happy for him. He's an amazing human being. So it's always good to see things happen to good people.
That was one of the main points I was going to bring up, to be fair. So obviously with the recent releases kind of thing and him being released on the exact same day, do you think from the beginning it was kind of a work, or do you think once the social media kind of hype went around it, it then got turned around?
Yeah, I think first off, life's a work. Want to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But I think with the whole, that big, I got a Bubba here. That whole, the whole thing that happened where, you saw the post afterwards when he found out that he got the news, he was, that was real. Like he was really upset. Yeah. And, I know I reached out to him and, I just told him that, bigger and better things are around the corner for him. And obviously, that's exactly, kind of what happened. But I mean, Drake is also, he's very work driven. He works very hard. Like he's one of the hardest working guys. Like I'm willing to bet he's probably the hardest working guy up there. I mean, literally up there, period, except maybe to Vince. Just because like sometimes like when you get to the shows, you go to catering and stuff like that, you grab a quick little bite or whatever. And then for a majority of the people, they'll either stay in the locker rooms or they'll end up going up to the stands. They kind of sit and watch, the rings being put up. You're watching the stage being propped up. Drake was never like that. Drake, I mean, he'd go in there and he'd socialize, say hello, but Drake always he would open up his laptop and then, he'd get straight to work. He would, he would produce things like for him and things that would benefit him. And he would, cut and, create, like videos and things like that. So, I mean, he's a hardworking guy. So it's good to see things like that happen to people that work that hard,
Yeah,
I was really happy for him.
Of course.
We've met him.
Yeah, we met him a few years ago, and he's probably one of the nicest wrestlers I think I've ever met, kind of thing. He was really down to earth, had plenty of time for everybody. He was a good person to meet. Yeah,
that's genuine too. I can promise you that.
Yeah.
Like he's definitely very genuine. What you see is what you get. He'll tell you what he thinks, and you have to really appreciate that from the standpoint of being a professional wrestler, because a lot of times I think a lot of people just kind of tell you things that you want to hear. And Drake was never like that, but you know, he always knew how to turn a negative into a positive too, which was pretty amazing. You know,
Of course.
yeah.
I always thought Dave and Drake would make a good team because they're at the same height.
Oh, here we go.
Dave, are you that short, dude?
Stand up,
Yeah.
Dave.
I think I'm taller than him.
Yeah.
Not incredibly tall, but I don't think I'm that short.
Oh.
Must have been a BFG with you and Drake, because you're really tall. I seen a picture of you on Facebook the other day, and I couldn't believe, because you said to me you videoed your call the other day, and you said like in person you're massive.
Yeah.
Like people don't realize how big you actually are.
How tall are you?
6'5". Yeah,
6'5",
6'5" and a half.
wow.
Well, 6'5" and a half. So yeah, and
Jeez.
So it's funny, you know, because a lot of the guys like at airports, you always hear like, you look bigger on TV.
Yeah.
I get the opposite. I'm always, you look bigger in person, and you're way more in shape in person than you are on TV too. So
Here's
I'm like,
your partner.
thank you.
Hello.
Now what's that?
We've got your partner on the other. Can you see him?
You got my better half?
We do.
I can't see him. Where is he? Where is he hiding?
Hey.
I do not see him. He is not popping up. Why are you yelling at me, dude?
Is it not?
Can you hear us?
I've got him on screen.
Is he there?
There we
I
go.
had to scroll across
There
my
we
phone
go.
to.
There he
I
is.
got
Okay.
it.
Hey.
How are you?
That's my
Good.
better half.
I don't know about that, but I'm definitely your worst half.
This
How
has
you
been a
doing?
long time coming.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, we haven't gotten to do one of these together yet, so
No, this is actually special. We haven't done one together yet.
yeah, not yet, no.
The official reunion on the
online
Road to Road
reunion.
Yeah, I don't think we haven't even really seen each other since quarantine started. We talked and stuff like that, but both of us been holed up in our caves.
The quarantine reunion.
Neither of you seem that excited to see each other, though. It's a bit concerning.
Well, we're ready to get back out there, man.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah. This shit's kind of lame sitting around not doing anything, you know?
Yeah.
I know. We had just
You guys-
started getting out there to have fun again and all this stuff, and then boom, like we had 2 weeks, and then quarantine hit us. And just shut it off.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about a tease, right? It's like a really, really good ex-girlfriend.
Have you guys discussed the new team name yet?
What's that?
Have you discussed a new team name yet?
No, actually, Vic's got a couple cool ideas. Here, come here, say hello. Vic's got a couple cool ideas.
Hey.
Say hey. Say hey. Hey. Say hey.
What's up, Elijah? Man,
He's got way more hair than me. I almost think he's not mine.
yeah, way more than you. He's definitely got your wife's hair, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure. God, he's huge, though. I'll tell you that.
Oh,
So yeah, okay. So Vic, you want to imply on the names? You've had some pretty cool names.
I mean, we have the couple that like we can use for different stuff, and just for like what we have on pro wrestling tees. Like I like just using FKA for right now.
Yeah.
Just so that we're not really like solidified in anything. Kind of moving forward, because you never know what direction anything's going to take. You know what I mean? Like where we're going to wind up and everything. Like with what we had worked on before COVID kind of shut everything down. Even then, I just said for right now we just want to use FKA.
Wow.
Yes. Is that the plan for a bit? Just like the indies, nothing kind of signs, just kind of enjoy yourselves wrestling again.
We had a couple things lined up that were exciting and not just like indies. You know what I mean? We were definitely really excited about the different things that we had going on and been talking about. Like I literally said to Connor a couple weeks before, I'd been watching something on TV. I said, man, I really want to do this. This is one of the main things I really want to do. I don't want to say what it is yet. But then, you know, 2 weeks later, I got the call to do exactly what that was that we were talking about. I just said, man, this is like my first like big wrestling hard on in a while. Like I just got so excited, just sitting here and having the conversation.
And he did too. I could tell when Vic gets excited because the text messages are a little bit different than usual.
Yeah, especially like that. You know? Like, you know, with everything that like we've kind of had in our career, I was like just trying to think like, man, there's only certain kind of things I really want to do that like are driving me right now when I sit down and like think about like, man, it would be so awesome if I wanted to do this, that, or the other thing. Like, but I want to make it to what's important now, like that we really care about, and not just going to work to go to work. You know.
Yeah, and tag team wrestling is probably the biggest it's been in a very long time at the moment as well. Different tag divisions, different companies. So
definitely, I know I've been watching a lot more lately, and I see a lot more of it, and I like what I see.
Yeah, because with like AEW, the division's just getting better and better and better. I think as the weeks go on, kind of thing. So
definitely, yeah, I like all the guys over there. I know so many of them. Seeing the new guys that I hadn't ever met before or seen before.
Cool.
I'm trying not to ask too many questions to Vic, because I've got you on for a full interview next week. So I'm going to leave my kind of proper interview questions for that. But I wanted to go through with you guys. For you, what was your favourite pay-per-view that you did in regards to you just enjoyed it the most during your time in WWE?
Well,
tricky, isn't it, when it's on the spot?
I forget a lot of them. That's the problem. I forget a lot of them. And too, a lot of the things that are like my favorite for stuff are probably for reasons that they're not. But I remember because like some of the things I'll remember, like one of my favorite ones was the what was it? There was that one in Brooklyn with the Dudleys and Hager and Mark Henry and Sandow and
oh man,
I believe. So
I think yeah.
That was one of my favorites, but for like many other reasons outside of just the match. But just like that's a day I can actually remember pretty thoroughly, and just remember a lot about the match and just like what went on and stuff. So, but I can't remember what pay-per-view that was. It was like the pre-show for like Rumble or something in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it could have been. I forget so much.
Yeah.
The first, I want to say the Royal Rumble was the Royal Rumble, the first one that we did against
we did
Road
that.
Dogg and Billy Gunn.
Yeah,
that one was probably the one that stood out the most to me because I've never just seen so much hatred for us in my life.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
They hated it.
Yeah. So, and I always remembered Philly for that. Like every time we'd go back there, I always liked Philly.
I love Philly.
Like, that crowd's one of the best. I like that city too. I don't know why. Just one of those places I get along with for some reason.
Of course.
And did you
guys
travel together?
We do and we don't. So we found we're better at traveling apart. So
it works though, you know.
Yeah.
Like it works. It's I mean, we'll do
like,
what we got to do. It's just you know, Vic does his stuff, I do my stuff, and then we get together in the ring, and then we just kill it. It's just like, you know, it's I don't know. I don't think much about it, to be honest with you.
No, I kind of figured they were going to ask us that because everybody else used to, and I was like, oh yeah, we just have to say this again.
Yeah, I've been getting that question quite a bit too. Like, hey, do you guys travel? Like, I was like, Victor's got his schedule, I've got my schedule, and I'm an early bird. I get up really early. That's just the way I've always been. And you know, it slips in a little bit. Yeah, so it just is, you know, it just works better that way for us.
That's why I was trying to get Big Red. So I was like, it'd be funny to have him because since you two used to travel and me and Brody used to travel.
Yep.
You know, that would have been funny.
That was a weird. That's like, it's when you look back at it, it's kind of funny because it's, you know, it was the Bludgeon Brothers, but they would split up and then they were riding with one half of the Ascension.
Always.
Yeah.
I mean, he was on the show this week.
I know Rowan and I were like two wives fighting.
Yeah,
we're like very
Everybody bicker and argue all the time.
Yeah.
He loves you.
Watching Sandow, Aaron, and him were also something else together. Like that pair was unreal just to watch, like hysterical. So
Was there anybody you've travelled with that you absolutely loved to pieces, but you just wouldn't travel with them again because they were a nightmare?
Not that I can think.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever had anybody bad to travel with. Like all the guys that I think I traveled with the whole time up there were awesome. I've never really had anybody bad to travel with anywhere.
Of course. Do you guys have a wish list yet of tag teams you want to be facing in the future?
Oh, I know one I want for sure.
Yeah,
That's definitely R&R. Rock and
Which
roll,
one?
baby.
Oh yeah, rock and roll.
Rock and roll, baby.
That would be pretty awesome. Yeah, for sure. I love seeing that they're still out there. Man, there's like so many when I think of it. Like, where do I begin? I'm just trying to think of which names I want to say first. Like, I like the Best Friends, guys like that. Like even
Briscoes.
Yeah, the Briscoes.
Yeah.
Tama and T. I remember.
Oh yeah.
You know, guys
I
like
love
that.
T. Love him.
Like those are kind of like my top three, I'd say. Like naming those three teams.
That's some big dream matches.
Young Bucks.
Definitely. You know what I mean? Like I would say everybody's gonna say Young Bucks though. You know what I mean? I even just like I just finished watching AEW while I was working out this morning and just like hearing what FTR said and stuff like that. I was like, well, of course. So everybody wants to say that. You know what I mean? When you're on top, everybody's going to talk about it. You know, I'd rather do something else before we get there.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's my point of view on it anyway.
I mean, I spoke to Konnor before, and I think you two with Gangrel kind of creating the new group would work really well. I'd love to see that.
That would be pretty cool. You know, I love Gangrel. You know, we've all known. I know between both me and Ryan, like we've both known Gangrel forever. I worked way back with him in Winnipeg before I got signed, and we were together in a group with him and Thorne. And you know, Gangrel was a good peacekeeper and good person to learn from back then. So and it still is. Pretty sweet. Always loved the Brood too. We, you know, I don't know if you had told them before talking to him, but we even tried to get the Brood elevator at that one point in time.
Wow.
Yeah. I never brought that up. I was a little disappointed. It broke my heart when they were like,
I know. We really tried. We had people trying for us too. So
that would have been cool.
Yeah. Would have been.
Maybe on the Indies, you never know.
Yeah.
Somewhere down the line.
I want to ask you guys your opinions. So on the kind of a WWE network now, they do a lot of backstage stuff in regards to documentaries on wrestlers, and they show you a lot of the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, you know, in the locker room, and it opens our eyes to kind of more than just the wrestling. Do you think that's a good idea, or do you think they shouldn't show us stuff like that? Because it kind of, I mean, David's not watching the Undertaker documentary at the moment because he loves to still believe in the Undertaker.
It's the kayfabe side of it. I think that's kind of like I've always loved kayfabe when I was younger. It's harder now with technology and social media, but I don't think I'd enjoy it too much sitting there watching the Undertaker as Mark Calloway kind of thing.
Do you have a quick answer off the top of your head? I know what I think, but
go ahead.
I think it's like kind of hit and miss. Because I can remember being a kid, and when I started watching it, like, my parents immediately told me it was fake. You know, and how phony it was and all of this. Yeah. And like them telling me that, when I liked it, just made me like it more. But back then, the wrestlers weren't really telling us that it was fake. Like, and I hate to use the word fake. That's what a lot of people use, because obviously, like, no matter what we're doing, it's not really fake at all.
No, it hurts.
Yeah, a lot. And so, like, seeing stuff like that, I think it's hit and miss, because it does take a little of the mystique away, even though people know it's a show.
Yeah.
it's kind of like that's why it's hit and miss. Like you can take that part away, but it can also like help like people get kind of to know people better in ways that they're like not able to through just how they see them when they walk through the curtain.
Yeah.
So
Of course.
you know, it can go either way, I think. Granted, I think there's a lot of stuff that should not be put on camera, especially for the locker room, you know.
Of course.
So
I think that's why somebody like MJF is such a breath of fresh air again, because it's kind of like he'll play that kayfabe, he'll do it, the interviews, and he's still in character. He's having a picture of somebody in like a shop or something, he's still in character, he's still kind of. So I think it's nice for people to kind of see that again and see it like kayfabe almost come back kind of thing in within one person or a few different people. Yeah,
I would agree with that. I know even I was thinking, just watching the show earlier when he was yelling at Jungle Boy on the side of the ring, I was like, he's really angry. Like I don't have to be that angry and like just the way he looks. It's like it's good, you know. So.
And he charges like $400 for a cameo.
What?
Yeah. And someone paid it, and he called them a douchebag.
Perfect. Yeah. I would too. I'd be like,
he deserved every bit of that.
They said that he wanted to say this, shouted at him.
Yeah. You know, it's my birthday today. He just hello douchebag, and that was it. $400 is kind of gone.
That's the best $400 you could ever make.
Yeah,
because put it so high so nobody would pay it, and then somebody's done it. So it's brilliant.
Are you on there?
$400 to yell at somebody a douchebag? I would love that. Yeah, right.
Do you have a cameo
I don't think that's.
page?
Yeah, no, because I don't think anyone's going to pay me $400 to do that. So maybe we'll see.
Put it down.
You never know.
$50, $60. They all charge that kind of amount.
Yeah. See, I'm just not friendly enough to actually do that stuff. So that's my problem.
Perfect. Well, we're hopefully going to get you guys to come to the UK, because I'm always talking to Ryan about it, but kind of with things at the moment, especially for you guys, because I know this is your living, and I know speaking to Ryan today, a lot of the guys have regular jobs as well, which I didn't kind of realize. And you know, so you guys, it must be really tough at the moment because you can't put a time or a date on anything to progress forward.
Yeah, that's been kind of the problem with everything. Like we had a lot of cool stuff lined up, and like kind of when all the cancellations started coming through, it's because nobody knows when we can go back to doing this again. So it sucks kind of everywhere.
And do you guys
have counting down the days?
What's that? Sorry.
What was that, Dave?
I said it's like you're counting down the days till you get back now, kind of thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but we don't even know when. You know what I mean? The countdown can start. So that's kind of the problem with everything. Because we even had things that were kind of being put on hold for a while, and even I think it was just this week we got a cancellation on something that they were just like, we don't know when. You know what I mean? And it's like, so we just have to keep waiting. So
And
crazy time.
I said not yesterday, the day before. We had, thanks to Ryan, I had Rowan on the show with his massive red beard, and that was kind of amazing because I know he doesn't do interviews at all. And he said to me at the end, he said, thank Ryan for this because he turned down Ryback to come on.
Ooh,
the show.
that was really difficult. Let me tell you. Ooh, you know where I stand with that.
When you told me yesterday, I couldn't believe it.
Oh yeah, believe it. Rowan somehow too. I went back and I watched a little bit of that, and he looks like he got bigger and his beard got bushier. How is that even possible?
Probably. Well, he's been locked at home for too long in the woods of Minnesota, and his wife just working out and eating all the time, probably. So it doesn't surprise me.
Killing his meals.
Yeah, exactly.
So, just Dave, have you got any? You had some a good kind of point earlier in regards to NXT, which I thought was quite interesting. We were talking about. So.
Oh yeah, so I think it was yesterday or the day before they've announced that I think Matt Riddle and a few other people have been called up to the main roster. But I wanted to see what your guys' opinion was on that, for it, like Raw and SmackDown being classed as the main roster, when, in my personal opinion, I find NXT to be the main roster. It's the only show out of the three that I do decide to watch, kind of thing, because it's almost like it's not a part of the WWE. It's kind of that good.
I'd agree with you there, probably. I think now, I think it kind of always has been its own like standalone thing.
Yeah.
And I think that was kind of the intention of it. The main roster, I think, is just like an old term. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But too, like the goal, I couldn't say if it still is now. I haven't asked anybody, but like the goal is to be a star.
Yeah.
On Raw or SmackDown. You know what I mean? Like NXT is supposed to be that launching pad. But at the same time, I think it's evolved a lot. Since the days when we were there. I don't watch a lot of it because I remember I did for a while, and then it started to look different to me. After a while, I couldn't figure out why, and I was like, I still liked everybody's work, but there was something that looked so different to me, and I couldn't figure it out, and it distracted me the whole time watching whatever match or whatever show. So now I just watch little bits of it here and there, but. I would say a lot of those people are, just as main roster as anybody else.
Definitely.
Their NXT main roster, all those people that are on that show, they've earned the spot to get there.
Of course.
Most people, it's not just young kids that are always there anymore. When they've, got guys that go back and, guys that they bring in from other places to do what they do there. It's its own thing, and it's cool because it's just, I think, maybe a little more, it's more aimed at just the different audience of wrestling. I think WWE realizes there's more than one audience for wrestling. And so now NXT, all that flavor. So.
Yeah, it's so very different to Raw and SmackDown, how they do everything, kind of thing.
Kind of, I guess. I couldn't say anymore. I remember when we used to be there, and even the last couple times we were there, I feel we're still run very much the same. It's the same people doing it. It's just kind of, I don't know, more fun maybe.
Yeah.
It seems like if you're a fan of wrestling, just pure wrestling, NXT is where it's at, because that's where the fans are getting the most hype, the most buzz. They're seeing something electrifying. And I think for the entertainment aspect of it, it's probably more Raw and SmackDown in regards to, guessing the storylines, predicting what's going to happen. So I think NXT has kind of been instrumental to give people their passion back for wrestling. And I'd say AEW, in my opinion, has done that as well, because I think a lot of fans were getting bored of just having one product to watch. And I think AEW coming in and kind of really going in the way they have, and look at some of the signings, Brody Lee, Matt Hardy, Moxley. It's just become so excited in 12 months, and you kind of think to yourself, where's it going to be this time next year?
Yeah, and you can't predict what's going to happen next either, kind of thing. I think that's a good thing about NXT and AEW. Whereas I think if you watch a Raw and SmackDown, you can predict somebody's going to come out or who's going to come out and this, that, and the other. So it's like a big breath of fresh air kind of thing to watch.
Yeah, I could agree with that. That's for sure. I feel like I see people having more fun on wrestling nowadays on the other shows I've been watching, which I think is good to see. When you can tell people are having fun, and you can tell what a certain stuff's getting done because people are having fun, it makes it better, I think. So it's good to see. Definitely good to see.
Of course.
Just notice
I think
Konnor has every quote going.
I'm literally walking everywhere following my son right now. That's why you see everything shifting and moving. So
I'm just reading all the quotes. Wisdom does not come.
Oh, the quotes, yeah. Sorry, I'll do that.
They're all over the room.
The seat background, and I'm just going.
You've got a thing in the background, and then there's every motivational quote, going.
And I don't follow one of them.
I love that. So the original plan for this is we were going to have like a Royal Rumble style podcast, but I think I was ambitious in doing it in such a short amount of time, and Ryan just kind of said, "Look, it's good to do it on the weekend." There's a lot of guys like Eric Bischoff. We had Darren Young. Rhino's going to look to come on, so we got loads of guys that are going to come on, but just over a weekend. And I know you said you spoke to Eric as well, and hopefully he'd be up for that. So it would be good to get kind of loads of people on in this and add the little clock, add the siren, add the music, and make it a
Royal Rumble podcast.
Yeah, that would be cool.
It's a great concept.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful concept.
Yeah.
This is where you give it to Rhino.
Yeah.
I think in just a moment we might have Darren Young popping on. I'm not sure, but did you work with him quite a lot?
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we had him on the show, and he was kind of instrumental in changing the direction, really, with the LGBT side of wrestling.
Yeah.
So, did he ever have conversations with you? Were you really behind that? Because you know, from talking to both of you, you seem to be very supportive.
Yeah, like it's funny because I don't think we ever had that conversation, I guess, talking to him. Like, I'd known him already for quite a while. And then working together, because I think when he came out, I can't remember if we were on the road yet or not when that happened. I can't remember if we were up there, if that was just before.
No, I think we were on the road, if I'm not mistaken. I know I had run-ins with him too on NXT season 4 or 5. I can't remember which one it was too, like the original. So
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a great worker. Like he's a really good talent, you know. And I know Vic can approve of that too.
Yeah, we used to have so much fun. Like,
Oh yeah.
I don't think about any of that stuff. Like, to me, he was who he was. Like, I loved working with him. He was always awesome in the back. Like, you know,
he's here now.
Oh, perfect.
He was the ultimate professional.
Yeah, except when he would swear at us in the ring.
I forgot about that.
Nobody swore at us in the ring like Darren.
Except him.
Yeah.
We were like, dude,
what? What did you say?
Don't swear.
Yeah, like, there's
Can you see him?
What the hell are you guys talking about?
They're talking about you swearing in the ring.
Yeah. How do I put up this?
Yeah,
Where is he?
This is real to me. I'm right here. This is real.
I do not see him. He is not on my deal. But I can hear him.
None of you can see him yet.
There he is.
There we go.
There. What's up? How are you, man?
What's up, fellas? Maintaining throughout all the craziness. Maintaining.
Oh, yeah, you're right down there in the middle of a lot of it too, right?
Yeah, LA, baby. LA.
Oof.
Still not come up on my phone.
Still look great, though.
Exactly. He's never out of shape, that's for sure.
No way.
I always say health is wealth.
Yeah,
Health as well.
definitely.
Amen to that one.
Yeah. I feel that a lot more as I keep getting older.
Right?
Yeah.
Is this the first time you've all spoken?
What's that?
Is this the first time you've all spoken in kind of a while?
Yeah, for me.
Yeah, definitely been a while since we've seen Fred. So.
But you're guys that, like, if I come across you, I'm just smiling from ear to ear. It's not like it's not like when I see you guys, it's like, oh, you guys.
That's how most people are when they see me.
Oh no, not me. Not
except
me.
for you.
I always, when I talk about you guys, I say I can work you guys 20 nights in a row and put in a good workout in the ring, but not get hurt, not feel like my life is in jeopardy. You guys are pros, man.
Well, thank you. Yeah, you were too. You made us work in there. We always had fun with you. So.
My favorite.
Just keep Fred in. Just keep Fred in.
Yeah.
Don't start.
That ain't a lie. That's not a lie, though. That's the truth.
Yeah.
But you guys kept the big man down. You kept him horizontal. If there's any tag team that could keep the big man horizontal, it's you guys.
Yeah.
I think Titus was just being nice to us, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
No.
You remember?
You must have worked almost everywhere too.
Yeah.
Like almost everywhere around the world that we traveled. I remember we always had matches with them, with you guys.
We had to do. You guys remember? We had to do this one match where I think it was a dark, and they literally put us in Gorilla, and they said, "Hey, can you guys go 20 minutes?"
Yeah, because we were waiting for Saxton to fly back. Because that was
it was Saxton. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Was King had a heart attack again, or got sick or something, or he had to go, and it was like right before SmackDown was starting.
Yeah.
I remember when they told us, they were like, "Yeah, you don't really have a time limit. It's just when like Saxton back through that curtain."
Just until Saxton gets back. I remember we all looked at each other and went. I mean, they honestly got sprung right onto us in Gorilla, like we had no idea.
Yeah.
I honestly don't remember because I was probably doing what Eric's doing now.
I'm drinking water, smoking my nicotine vape.
Wait, ain't we all? Wait.
Come on, I just finished working out today. I'm still healthy right now.
You've all kept really good shape. Like, you're all massive. Every time I've interviewed you, you all do this thing where you lift your arms up and then there's like a massive bulge.
I just get a good camera angle. That's all. I keep it down. It looks better. That's all. Learned that from Brody.
So, Fred, you were on the bump, weren't you, this week?
Yeah, I was on the bump. You know, they called me a couple of weeks ago and asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said, sure. You know, why not? You know, I always say, don't die with the story and you tell it. So, however, I can share my story with the matches I'm going to do. You know? And I mean, I didn't leave. I'm not on the ban list. You know, I'm not on the ban list for WWE. So, I'm still a fan, man. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like you've done even more since leaving the company than when you were with the company. Like, I feel like you've taken it completely over and done like so much more of spreading the message and stuff like that. Like, I feel like I'm able to see you do so much more now.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got to do what I got to do to keep it moving. You know, I kind of took WWE's Be a Star campaign and made it into my own Block the Hate movement campaign. So my fight's much more bigger than in the ring. It's outside fighting bigotry and hatred. So I got to keep doing, man. I got to do what I got to do to pay the bills.
Yeah, exactly.
There we go, Konnor. That's a quote that we can add to your front room.
Up there. That would have been the one.
I'm not above that.
And obviously you follow each other on social media, and you know, like what the work that Fred does, because we spoke last week in the interview, and you get a lot of people actually message you directly, don't you, and reach out to you for help and support, and you kind of spend a lot of time to make sure that these people are okay and give them as much support as you can.
Yeah, you know, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychiatrist, but I'm a friend. And any fans that I've met over the years personally, and then they contact me on social media in the DM saying that they want to commit suicide, it's a serious problem, you know what I mean? So all I have to do is just send them personal video messages, cheering them up. And, you know, we all go through, we have our ups and downs, but the last thing I want to see someone do is do harm to themselves. You know what I mean? So I got to do what I got to do.
Dave, do you have any questions for, because you've never had Fred on the show before?
To be fair, not off the top of my head.
I'm not sure if you can see. Can you see us?
No, I've got like us four. I haven't got Fred.
I don't know why you can't see each other.
I can hear Fred. I can't see him. I've just got us four like in a block.
You're missing out. He's looking good. He's got his cool hat.
That's great.
I just figured out how to get everybody.
You're lost, Dave. You're lost.
Hopefully I can watch it back and I'll be able to see it, but I can't. Not on here.
Because you were.
I just finally figured out everybody on the bottom there.
I mean, Dave's a much more knowledgeable wrestling fan than me, and I know that you were a massive kind of fan of Nexus and NXT, and you would have followed a lot of Fred's career on that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, Nexus. Well, Nexus speaks for itself, really, doesn't it? It's probably one of the most special things in the last 15, 20 years, kind of thing in wrestling. something so different and special. And then obviously when Bob Backlund became Fred's manager as well, that was pretty incredible as well. I think everybody loved that.
We just saw Bob on one of our last signings, that one place, and Bob's always such a treat. Like, you never know what you're gonna get, right? Like, yeah, I know Fred and him got to spend so much time together, but all of a sudden he started jogging around the place we were in, and he went upstairs. I can't remember what he was yelling now. It was hilarious. And then I think he started doing push-ups, and he did another lap before he came back down.
He was on the second floor, running around, and everybody in there was looking up at him.
Yeah,
it was incredible.
Bob said he's the only person that can keep up. I'm the only one that could keep up with him on the squats. Can you believe that?
Wow,
that's amazing.
The only one. I'm the only one that can keep up with him. So
that's amazing.
That's a huge compliment coming from an OG.
Right?
Wrestling legend.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't stop working out. He's constantly working out.
He doesn't stop. Nope.
He's one of those great personalities in wrestling too, I'd say. Like out of all the guys that like you meet, like you'd never seen him without a smile. Never seen him like not be like super nice to everybody, like insanely so, like in a good way.
And he's intense.
He would get so upset anytime I'd have a match and it'd go from 8 minutes to 6 minutes or 4 minutes. I mean, we can't do any wrestling. We just gotta register and move. And he would be so upset. And I would tell Dean Malenko, I said, Dean, can you tell Bob that I can't do any wrestling? I have to just keep it moving because he's very upset. He's gonna literally walk back to the hotel. And like he would have to talk to him. I was like, Bob, I'm sorry, I can't exchange holds. I have to just kick and register. He would be so upset, bro. So upset.
Out of all three of you that are here now, who is kind of the biggest prankster? Who played the most practical jokes on other people?
Oh, it's Sin Cara by far.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I swear on my grandmother's grave, I was thinking the same thing.
Yep. Sin, baby.
Yeah.
Wow. What kind of thing do you do?
Oh, just anything. Like, it's impossible to, like, he's such a guy, like, he gets you just walking out of the room to make you turn around. Like, he'd just say, hey, you know what I mean? As you're walking and you go and you turn around, like, like, everybody would, like, like, he'd do it so often, you'd still catch yourself and you're immediately mad because, like, you fell for it again. Like, it wasn't the first time, wasn't the last time. Like, if you're in the bathroom and you're the only person in there, lights are going off. Like, and if he walks in and out, lights are going off. Like, you're just like, man, come on. Jeez. There's always something. Always something.
With him, if I would compliment, like, oh, that girl's pretty, he would be like, I thought you were gay. Why are you complimenting her being pretty? I said, man, you're the only one that can get away with that because I would have knocked you out. I would have said I wouldn't have been like Jericho on the bus and slip on the floor, you know. I was on the bus when he got into this little scuffle with Jericho, and I was sitting right next to I was sitting right next to Jericho. No, Sin Cara. When they started to get into the fight, and I did not budge. It was Goldust and Big E that broke up the fight. I was like, let him fight. Let him fight. I was sitting right next to them, you know, and I was hoping Sin Cara would win.
Wow,
he's a tough son of a bitch.
Yeah,
he is.
Who did win?
He's tough.
Yeah.
Well, they broke it up. Goldust, who's got shoulder. I love Goldie. He's got shoulder issues. He's sitting in the front of the bus. He goes from the front of the bus to the back of the bus. I'm like, I said, let them fight. Let them fight. We're all men. We're all men. Let them fight. The best man wins. I did not budge.
Didn't even look back, probably. Just like whatever.
Just
I was straight. I was on the bus looking straight ahead, just like this.
Yeah.
That sounds like a comedy program. That's amazing.
Oh, Well, the floor was wet on the bus, so Jericho had on these shoes, and he just like his feet went up, and Sin Cara was on top of him. You know what I mean? Because the bus was wet, so like Sin Cara was making noises with his feet, like and then Jericho was like, "Hey man, cut it out." And then Sin Cara, and Jericho was like, "Dude, I said cut it out." And then they had an exchange of words, and they started fighting, and Jericho's feet went up in the air, and like I said, I was just like this.
What can you do? There's not enough room back there.
Yeah, exactly.
And if one person slips, somebody else is going to slip too.
Yeah.
Dangerous
Oh,
spot. Work it out.
We are all men. We are all men. We can handle ourselves.
That's right.
I think you've just told the best story I've ever heard on a podcast or interview in my life, because I'm visualizing Jericho getting really pissed off with someone for making a noise.
I mean, it's a funny story. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus. It's just literally funny.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, the visual's incredible.
Yeah.
And because we know, you know, Jorge or Sin Cara, like, you know, that's what, I mean, you don't tell him no, because that no means yes to him.
I think too, that was like one of the first days of the tour or something like that, I think, right? Like it was one of the first couple days. Because I can remember we'd always like message back and forth, like, oh, what's going on tour so far? And like, I think the Raw crew was that one. And just that one happened like so fast. I'm just like, well, this already happened. Like, wow, that didn't take long at all.
It's more Fred just kind of sitting there, not having it. I think that's what I want to see.
I refuse. These guys know I'm a quiet guy, you know. I'm shy, I'm quiet. But like I said, I'm not getting involved.
Well,
was there anyone on the bus that was egging it on?
What's that?
Was there anybody else on the bus egging it on for it to continue?
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. No.
Jorge don't need nobody.
I don't think guys ever like egged on. Like, usually guys are pretty good about diffusing everything. Like you could always tell when two guys suddenly got real serious about something, and everybody else try to be like, "Yo, you know, stop it." Like I found, like I think all three of us, like that time while we were all there together, for sure. Like there was a really good, really good crew that we always had around of guys. Like everybody kind of known and worked with each other for a long time. Especially within kind of the WWE universe there, like from developmental all the way up. Like it's good like that.
Well, guys, honestly, thank you so much for coming on, because we were going to do it like a Royal Rumble, like I said, a Royal Rumble style podcast where we have a lot of people, but we're kind of postponing that for a couple of weeks, and we're hoping to get a good 20 people on. So it'd be great to get you guys back. And it's just nice because when you have people like yourselves that have worked together, like your chemistry just comes across on the screen, and then you share stories and you can see every single one of you laughing and reminiscing about it, which is so nice to watch.
Of course.
Yeah, at first I was gonna bushwhacker myself out of this because like I got stuff to do. I got to do the gym. I got to run errands and stuff like that. But this was a lot of fun.
How do you bushwhack your way out of it?
What's that?
How do you
eliminate
your way out of it?
Clothesline over.
Definitely.
I was gonna sign in, say what's up to you guys, and exit out.
No, Archie, thank you so much for your time. It's been great to get you back on.
Yeah, thanks.
Hell yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
I love you guys all.
Love you too.
Love you, Fred. You look great, man.
I would have done.
That's just like we've moved around now on the screen. No, that was great to get him on. I mean, I had him on the show last week, and it was just great to talk to him about kind of you see his passion. And I think when someone's got such a strong feeling on how to make change, that came across with him. And seeing you guys share your stories was nice as well.
Thank you. Yeah, it's good to see him too, because it's been a while. I know we hadn't run into him.
How long?
I can't remember if I've even seen Fred since his contract ended. I feel like I ran somewhere, but I can't remember. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, he's always one of those guys I do love seeing. Like
he always brings a smile to your face, right?
Yeah, 100%.
He really does.
And we spent a lot of time like working with him and Titus when we were first up there. So,
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, hopefully we'll get you on for the Rumble style. And thanks to to Ryan for kind of being a bit realistic with me that it's impossible to do it in 24 hours. So
I ain't lying to you about it.
you, honestly,
yeah.
and I'm looking forward to getting you on for a full interview, because obviously it's a different kind of environment where we go a little bit deeper with kind of the beginnings and your journey into wrestling. So that's going to be good. That will be next week. But thank you so much for coming on, guys. I know me and Just Dave's enjoyed it.
Thanks
By
for
the way,
having us.
Ryan came up with his name.
I did.
Came up with his name.
Just Dave.
Which one is it again?
Oh yeah.
Just
Yeah.
Dave.
Dave Wade?
Just Dave.
Just Dave.
Just Dave.
Just Dave. Fair enough. All right. He does have the Just Joe beard, so.
He had a really good name idea for you for a new team, which I thought was really good.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the Awakening. I think it sounds.
Oh, you said
Actually,
that.
that is
I think I
pretty,
sent it on DM.
that is pretty good, actually. I don't think we've even thought of that one yet, had we?
Nope.
I think it's kind of like a rebirth of yourselves, like as a team, kind of like something new. You're awoken from kind of like another company to go and doing what you're doing, kind of thing. I think it's.
That's not a bad idea, Dave. That really
Yeah.
is.
That's a really good idea. That immediately just punched me in the face. Like, how did the two of us dumbasses not think of it?
We'll cut that out.
Oh my God.
That
We're so
maybe just have, like,
stupid.
the Rick and Morty, like, dumb face. Huh? Like that immediately. Like, so.
I think it'd suit you guys.
All right. Well, if we use it, I'm not going to give you any money unless you make it.
Thank you so much for coming on again this week.
Oh, no problem.
Awesome.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having
thank
us.
you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Amazing.